Hello friends, welcome to our Grade 8 Mathematics Student Support Program. Our topic for today is surface area and volume. This is the second part of the chapter Surface Area and Volume. In the first video, you learned how to demonstrate an understanding of a net of a cube and a cuboid. You also learned how to recognize that the total surface area of a cuboid and a cube is the sum of the areas of all the faces of the nets. We also learned how to develop and apply formulae to calculate the surface area of a cube and a cuboid. Now in this video, you will learn how to develop and apply formulae to determine the volume of a cube and a cuboid. You will also learn how to solve problems involving surface area and volume of cubes and cuboids. And finally, in the last video, you will learn how to fit cubes or cuboids into other cubes or cuboids. So let us start with our topic, that is volume. What is volume? The volume of an object is in fact the amount of space it occupies. You have some examples of volume. So here you have a swimming pool filled with water. You have a container. You have here as well a tank filled with water. So these are examples of volume. Now we move on to volume of a cube. Let us consider this example. Suppose I have a 3 centimeter cube and I want to completely fill it with 1 centimeter cubes. So how many 1 centimeter cubes will I need in all to completely fill in the 3 centimeter cube? First we consider along the length how many 1 centimeter cubes I will need, then along the width, and finally along the height. So you can see that I will need 3 1 centimeter cubes along the length, 3 1 centimeter cubes along the width, and 3 1 centimeter cubes along the height. In fact, I can compare it with this cube. You can see that we have 3 along the width, 3 along the height, and 3 along the length. So the volume of a cube having length L centimeters is calculated as follows. Volume of cube will be simply L cube centimeter cube. That is, it's going to be L times L times L. Let us consider a first example. Find the volume of a cube of length 5 centimeters. So the volume will be simply L cube, that is 5 to the power of 3, which gives me 125 centimeter cube. A second example, the volume of a cube is 343 centimeter cube. Find the length of the cube. So you have already been given the volume, which is 343 centimeter cube. That is L cube equal to 343 centimeter cube. Now to find L, I need to take the cube root of 343. So the cube root of 343 is in fact 7. So the length of the cube is 7 centimeters. We move on to the next example. The total surface area of a cube is 384 centimeters square. Find the first part, the area of one face of the cube, part B, the length of the cube, and part C, the volume of the cube. So you can see here, I have a question dealing with both surface area and volume. Let us have a look at the solution. So you have been given that the total surface area of the cube is 384 centimeters square. If you will recall, in the first video, we have learned that the total surface area of the cube is in fact area of 6 faces. That is, the area of the 6 faces is equal to 384 centimeters square. To find the area of one face, I divide by 6. That is 64 centimeters square. Now, part B, I need to find the length of one side. So the area of one face is 64 centimeters square. And to find the length, I take the square root of 64. That is, the length is 8 centimeters. Part C, the volume of the cube is L cube. So 8 to the power of 3 centimeter cube. That is 512 centimeter cube. So you have some exercises for you to practice on volume of cube. The first question, find the volume of a cube given that the length of its side is part A 3 centimeters, part B 8 millimeters, and part C 1.5 meters. Question 2, a cube has length 6 millimeters. Find the volume of the cube. Question 3. The volume of a cube is 216 centimeter cube. Find the length of the cube. Question 4. The area of one face of a cube is 16 centimeter square. Find, first part, the length of the cube. Second part, the total surface area of the cube. And last part, the volume of the cube. Question 5. The total surface area of a cube is 486 centimeters square. Find part A, the area of one face of the cube, part B, the length of the cube, and part C, the volume of the cube. So we now move on to the volume of cuboid. We have a picture of a cuboid here, of length L, width W, and height H. And the volume of the cuboid will be simply length times width times height. Let us consider a first example. The diagram shows a cuboid of length 10 centimeters, width 4 centimeters, and height 7 centimeters. Find the volume of the cuboid. So the volume will be simply length times width times height. And here the length is 10, the width is 4, and the height is 7. So I have 10 times 4 times 7 centimeter cube, which gives me 280 centimeter cube. A second example, the volume of a cuboid is 15,000 centimeter cube. If the length is 30 centimeters and the width is 25 centimeters, find the height of the cuboid. So let us have a look at the solution. Volume of cuboid is given by length times width times height. So length times width times height is equal to 15,000 centimeter cube. In other words, 30 times 25 times h is equal to 15,000 centimeter cube. So I have h equal to 15,000 divided by 30 times 25, and this gives me 20 centimeters. Therefore, the height is 20 centimeters. You have some exercises for you to practice on volume of cuboid. First question, find the volume of a cuboid if part A, the length is 10 centimeters, width 8 centimeters, and height 5 centimeters. Part B, the length is equal to 25 centimeters, the width is equal to 12 centimeters, and the height is 18 centimeters. Part C, the length is 5.3 meters, the width 2 meters and the height 3.1 meters. Last part, the length is 120 millimeters, width 100 millimeters and height 80 millimeters. Question 2. Find the volume of a cuboid with dimensions 15 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 4 centimeters. Question 3. The volume of a plastic container in the form of a cuboid 9 centimeters high and 7 centimeters long is 315 centimeter cube. Find the width of the container. Next question. The volume of water in a swimming pool 7.5 meters long and 4.5 meters wide is 50.625 meter cube. Calculate its depth. Number 5. You have a question where ratio is also involved. So the ratio of the width of a cuboid to its height is 4:5. Its width is 20 centimeters. The ratio of the height to the length is 1:2. Find the volume of the cuboid. Question 6. These two cuboids have the same volume. Find the value of x. We now move on to the summary. So in today's video, we have learned that for a cube of length L centimeters, the volume is given by L cube centimeter cube. And for a cuboid having length L centimeters, width B centimeters and height H centimeters, the volume is given by L times B times H centimeter cube. You have some links here where you can get some additional practice on volume of cube and cuboid. So friends, we have reached the end of this video. In today's session, you have learned how to find the volume of a cube and a cuboid. We have a last video on this chapter which will deal with how to fit cubes or cuboids into other cubes or cuboids. So until we meet again, it's goodbye.